Hello, hello. Oh, right. So I think where we left off yesterday was a bit of refactoring. I actually went through and I think I fixed like a bunch of bugs after I logged off yesterday. One of them being something with teleporting. I think this is right. Looks like overlap is called actually a bunch. Hold on. Maybe this is actually off. Oh, actually, I think I know what it is. Shit, wrong one. The goal today is to essentially delete the majority of the functions or the blueprints and class files that we do not need anymore. I think we're pretty much there. Yesterday I actually created the self-casting mechanic that we had before. So all of the abilities that will spawn like on the character itself, like this one, which is essentially like an AoE like buff that gives like movement speed and damage resistance to your teammates that are within like the circle. That's working. And then we also have one for Pyromancer, which also is working. I'm just gonna pretty much use like every ability to see if there's something. Gale. Gale is one that does not work. any others. Zephyr. That one went through the ground, so that does not work. Combustion and Wildfire are two abilities I have to make a separate system for. Eruption is probably going to get changed. Actually, all 4 of these abilities here need to get reworked entirely. And Fireball, actually. Take note of that. Actually, let's open up Canva. I had to move Canva off just in case we had anything on there about future plans. Or future notes, rather. I'm actually going to copy this over. Fireball. Gale. Other ones. Actually, these would probably go in their own separate category. Engulfing Flame, Combustion for the other two. Wildfire. The last one. Eruption. Which that might get changed to be something else. You might make some of these like passive abilities in the long run. Yeah, it just seems like a lot of abilities within the Pyromancer class need to get changed. Electrify actually is another one. I think everything else though is working just fine. Okay. Let's fix the Gale spell. It actually works very similarly to our Supernova. Hello, Agent. How are you? You using gas? Yeah, gameplay ability system. Worked just fine. Gotta change it out here. We're gonna start using it yourself. Yeah, it's it's definitely a journey learning it, that's for sure. It is pretty complex, but once you learn how to use it, super powerful. I say that and then this ability just doesn't work. Should be though. Oh, wait a minute. I think it's because, yeah, just some parameters we did not tick. Should be good now though. Yeah, there we go. A little broken. Yeah, pretty much right now we're just going through and fixing all of these spells that we created in the game, because we moved everything over to a new type of spell system. Should be working. See here. Okay. This just needs a heavier offset then. Did I not make the offset a parameter? Huh. That's fixed. pretty much just catching up with some changes I made last night, so I'm trying to remember everything that I did and what I need to do. I usually update my notes on this kind of stuff, but I ran out of time last night and had to kind of head off early, so I didn't get to complete everything. But there are 2 parameters I'm looking for in here right now for something called an offset or our line trace when detecting if a spell is essentially trying to hit a player through a wall or not. This will stop the effect from trying to hit the target if they're on the other side of a wall. And this is why we're spending the next couple days pretty much just refactoring all of our spells. So I waste a lot less time trying to track this kind of shit down. Johnny, how many days in a row are you going to come in here and say that? I ordered a Penguins hat on Amazon, so I'll wear that tomorrow for you. Oh shit, I don't have the offset as a parameter, do I? Look at that. As long as you wear Flyers hats. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yo, are you streaming Dark Souls today? Oh, this needs to be an effector. Oh, you're streaming the crab game? Fair enough. Whenever we make blueprint changes, don't risk it. Close down, recompile. Crab Souls. The thing is, I've never played Crab Souls, but if you stream Dark Souls, I would definitely watch. Alright, let's see here. Go into the offset. I'm gonna bump this up to like 15, probably, off the Z. What we're looking for is this spell to launch the player into the air. overlap happens on begin overlap, line trace single by channel. It is calling apply overlap event, but it's not applying the impulse. So something is happening. Where is my apply? Oh, actually, I moved that up to here, I believe. Yep, here it is. We have a blocking hit. Add radial impulse can hit allies. That should be on for this. Yeah. I may actually want to turn networking off just for a second here so I have a much clearer log to actually read from. Okay, begin overlap. Activate spell. So it finds two overlapping actors, applying the overlap event. Saying that this is actually off. Weird. I mean, it's visible, so... Clear this, turn off messages, play it through. It works when it is not networked. That's a problem. gonna grab the client here. Let's see if it's a listen server problem or client side, and then we can further diagnose the issue. It's both sides. Apply base effect to allies. It's false. So it's actually not getting set by the server. Okay, I mean, we can find out why. Again, we moved a lot of stuff around. Let's shift F12 onto our variable here and see what's happening to it. So this set apply base effect as healing on allies is what's dictating it. We can track it even further, like this. It looks like it should be getting set in here. Which means it's not replicated onto the projectile. Actually, let me test something real quick. I'm gonna hop into our arena map and see if it actually works on there. It may have something to do with team IDs. Because I believe before, the way I was actually checking for allies, even like self-casted abilities, I checked the team ID. And by default, if a team ID was 255, which is the largest possible integer for a generic team ID, that was the one I set for AI specifically. So same thing. Okay. Just not replicated onto the ability. Which is kind of weird because we did change this before. And everything worked just fine at that point. I'm gonna check something else here too. Go back to our other map. I mean, worst case scenario, we just set up a get lifetime replicated props on our base spell and just copy over this boolean, because this is getting called on the server. But the thing is, like, when the server spawns this ability, it should still contain this boolean, and the server should be applying this effect to the character, because like the client's version of this actor isn't real. It's like kind of like a predicted thing. Like it's a simulated proxy. So it's not like, it shouldn't really serve a purpose beyond that. Like the server should be applying like all effects. So when it has like this kind of variable changed on it, it should remember it and apply it. That's the weird part. I actually, real quick, on begin play, I kind of want to print out these variables on begin play on the server side of things. The joys of networking. Tracking down random bugs that didn't exist before. But yeah, I'm just going to be showing my thought process behind debugging, especially for network games. As it can be quite tricky, but we all know begin play gets called on every actor regardless, so long as it is replicated to spawn on all machines. Get rid of this shit. All we want to know is begin play. Did I set the live coding? Probably not. Thought I did though. I did. Is my thing running as client? No. Okay, so if this isn't actually working right now, could mean a couple of different things. One, I'm missing a very, very small, but probably easy to recognize problem in my code. Highly likely. And, I just can't see it on first glance. Or I spelled begin play wrong when I was looking at my logs. No. Try that one more time. Okay, it is replicated. We can see this now, right? Begin play, apply base effect to allies, set the true. And on the client, it is set to false. Actually, why is that oh, no, never mind, never mind. Hold up here. And the brain fog is fucking real today, ain't it? I did something, definitely, where I shot myself in the foot. Yes, that's fine. Begin play's getting called here because I'm spawning in the mesh just for the projection. That's where that's coming from. So when it spawns here, yeah, here we go. Client's false because it doesn't get replicated properties. Server is always true, which is how it should be. It's just not applying my effect, which is kind of weird. Alright, we cleared that up. That's all fine and dandy. So let's backtrack to our apply effect, because now we have some knowns, right? We know variable is working. All that's good. Add radius impulse to player, or to players, is true. We also have something that lets us know if radial impulse does not get applied, because it can't find their movement component. We also have something here letting us know if our basically our sight trace is trying to like hit the player through a wall or something, which it shouldn't, because we just gave it an offset to lift it off the ground even further. Reaching this stage, it is when Wait a minute. If it does not have a blocking hit, it's saying that the floor is actually blocking this spell mesh, but that's not true unless there's a problem with ordering. We're applying this offset, right? So it doesn't, like, you know, spawn where it actually like gets hit on the ground. And then line trace, we're adding an offset, so it actually line traces from the position of the offset. But what this is kind of showing me is that this line trace is actually happening before the offset is even applied. That's what I'm thinking right now. So let's go to where this is actually called, and we'll double check that. So apply initial overlap event to actors. Is this happening before or after we do this? It's got to be happening before. So this is the like top of the line like class. This is like the parent of all spells in the game, right? This is activate spell function. We go to our base projectile and we go to activate spell. Where are we calling the super version? Here. So we are calling this apply or this activate spell effect before we even do the positioning of our spell mesh. So let's move that down to here, right? Let's double check to make sure we want all of these functions to happen before. And they all look pretty fine. Like, we don't really care about audio happening before any of these other functions because this is all going to happen within a single frame. That doesn't matter. But the actual, like, call stack matters more than anything else. So, with that being said, we should be good now. That should fix it. Live code it and see. Okay. It's still saying the floor. Actually. What a weird bug. What else could be causing this problem? I wonder if we run into the... Let me try it this way. Okay. So it works after so if we throw the spell down onto our character, it does not trigger. That means it's probably getting put into our ignored actor pile. For the apply overlap event, let's actually see the actors that are getting put into this. We're going to put other actor here. Also put an else statement. These are going to get deleted afterwards, but right now I'm going to keep them so I can properly check this. An alternative way of doing this, by the way, is just using the debug mode on Visual Studio and setting breakpoints, but I don't know. I just got way too used to logging. If it's a problem where like logging isn't catching what you need, then it's a great idea to just track it down through debugger. Other actor is null pointer. If not, we're going to print out the name of the other actor. We do this. So get flags, get F name. Do string. Okay. After we get done refactoring all the abilities and get everything working, I'm going to make a custom logging system that's going to break things down into categories, because it's starting to get out of control with the amount of code that we've written over the past like 6 months at this point. So I'll probably do that on stream sometime later this week or early next. This. Okay, it's calling apply overlap events to our actor here, and then it's doing a line trace, and it's saying that the floor is in the way of our actor. What is it looking for when it's going to the line trace here? Okay. The root component of this actor. That makes sense. We actually probably do not want to use the root component. Because that is more than likely actually going through the floor. Where's our root component at? Viewport. Now the cylinder is our... Cylinder's our root. All right, going further into this, let's see the location that it's grabbing for our actor's location when it's doing this line trace. We'll put it within our check here. Location X, Y, and Z is the most important one. Why not? Hi, can you explain the difference between animation artist and game designer? Yeah, so game designer is basically somebody that creates or like designs like the flow of a game. So like basically the purpose of the game, the objectives in the game, events in the game, basically from when you click like play and you like load into the map, what are you doing on the map, like where are you going on the map, everything like that is usually the job of like a game designer. Like, what is the experience going to be for a player? An animation artist is somebody that creates the animations. Probably the easiest way to explain that. Yeah, it's one's more of like a visual thing, the other is the actual experience. Spell location is -40Z. What now? Let's pull our spell into the map and see where it's actually trying to line trace from. -40Z makes it sound like it's going to be beneath the floor, which I believe is at like 0. So it's saying that the spell mesh is beneath the map. I don't think that's true. Let's see here. Not open it. Go to spell mesh. Is that relative location? Ooh, component. Return location and component in world space. No, it is world space too. So we want absolute location for spell mesh. Type in -40. Yeah. No wonder why it's trying to line trace from the ground. It thinks that our component is beneath the surface. Interesting. Okay, we're getting close. For this location offset, is this adding to relative or world space location? What we're going to do here is grab the spell location before and after to get an idea of what's going on here. Looks like I failed my yesterday's university exam of mathematics. Things are going downhill. Aw, don't worry, man. I failed calculus numerous times, but here I am. It all really matters about determination at the end of the day. You just got to keep practicing. I actually failed out of computer science in high school. I took it. But the difference between people that actually like make it or not is honestly if they give up. Because you give up, you don't even have a chance. But if you keep trying, there's always a chance. Actually, I can just pretty much copy this over without the effector there. Okay, let's see. I gotta admit, some days it's really hard to program and like stay focused on this stuff, but at the end of the day, all I know is even if I made just like a tiny bit of progress, that's more progress than I would have made compared to if I just did nothing. So it's a very slow and steady race, all I'm trying to say. For the half year mark, I'm gonna make a video going over the my GitHub for the first 6 months of the project, and you'll see how fucking bad my code was in the very beginning, because it was atrocious. Alright, we are getting close here. Now we only care about the apply overlap event on the server side of things, right? So we're going to take that into account when doing the debugging part of this. Gotta stop fat fingering the goddamn hyphen. Getting node mode. Okay. Getting that mode. We actually don't care about spell location being changed on the client either. It's all for testing purposes anyways. It's all going to get deleted after we find the problem. Which I think it's just an offset thing. I think what's happening is when we try to shoot this at our feet, there's a delay between frames. And that very small delay is actually causing the spell mesh to spawn beneath the ground. Which, if that's the case, what I'll probably have to do is switch the type of overlap event from begin overlap to physics-based for the projectile state. Oh. Have the goddamn thing spawned in. Hold on. Move that out of the way. Yeah, -5. We bump it up to 9. Now, when we shoot it at our feet, that's what's actually really important. Hold on, I'm just gonna wait for the cooldown. Oh, another thing is the cooldown is actually off. Any tips? So when you... Oh, okay. Understandable, I won't give up. Failing the first time feels too depressing. I wish I could do something like you after everything's done. Whatever, tomorrow I have data structures exam. Any tips? Ooh, data structures? Oh man, honestly, it really depends, because like there's a number of different ways that you can write data structures. Like the most efficient thing, or the most efficient way to write data structures is to keep data in something to where... What's the easiest way to say this? When you're parsing it, you do not have to skip around to different sections of the memory to grab everything that's within it. God, it's so weird to explain. It's like, have you ever heard of an entity component system before? But essentially what that is it's a ton of different arrays, like arrays or like vectors, that store one type of data only, but there's a struct of them. And that's the most efficient way to store any type of data whatsoever, because what you can essentially do is you can store everything onto a cache line, and the cache line is able to read and write that data way faster than any other type of storage, because it doesn't have to wait for to go grab the data from, you know, like the RAM, or worst case scenario, your storage device. When you ask for any tips on data structures, it's kind of like one of those things that it depends on what they're going to be asking you. Like, are they asking you to design one? Are they asking you... bro, can you tell me about your setup specs? It's nothing crazy. It's a Ryzen 7 3700X processor, 32 gigs of DDR4, and a 6900 XT AMD graphics card. The graphics card is the only thing that costs a bit of money, but I got that thing on sale for like $300-400 or something. Yeah, so you can see what's happening here. The actor is spawning in the ground. So what that's telling me is the spawn location of this actor coming out of the fist is like really far away from the actor. It's basically spawning right in the ground. So let's see where it's actually picking the location for spawn. We can actually get that from the spawn transform here. Spawn location.x, spawn location.y, spawn location. Good. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Good luck with your exam. Regardless, though, keep practicing. For sure. I failed numerous times trying to do this, but just don't be a quitter. That's all that matters. All right, where are you spawning at? Spawn location 113. Interesting. All right. We're going to more than likely have to use like sweeping for this. Because it's moving, but then it's not detecting collision. What's the delay on spawn to collision activation? Oh, it's just next frame. 613 from 612. Damn. In one frame, it is moving about 100 or so along the Z from what I'm seeing. Or 200 actually. Okay. Yeah, so with generating overlap events, this is one of the downsides of it, is it's not able to detect collision like this, whereas like a physics-based one would be able to detect the actual initial hit. A way around this, right, is for us to modify the offset trying to think of a way to do that. I mean, we can detect for collision of ground-based, or we can just move the collision over to being physics-based entirely. The right decision is to make the projectile go off of physics-based. God damn it, I'll do it the right way. Gotta do what you gotta do. Luckily it won't be too bad. I feel like I ran into a problem with this before. Okay, so it's going to give an error because on begin overlap and on component hit have different parameters that they have to take in. So the way we can find that parameter is by just hovering over this, pressing F12. Clicking on the component signature here, press F12. Then we go to where this delegate is actually created. We can skip the first part of this. All we need is everything after this part right here to the end. Like that. Let's go back to our projectile here. We're not going to use onBegin overlap. We'll create a different function here. We'll call this onProjectileHit. We'll paste this in. Like that. Now, very important to note that when you have a dynamic delegate, you have to give it the uFunction property. Or it will not work. The only time you do not have to write uFunction here is if you're overriding a function that's connected to this delegate. So you can see how this one has override here. It's because the parent class actually already has this. So, here we go. Comment that out. What we're going to do is probably break up the function here a bit. See how it's calling like activate spell? We'll probably grab this and turn it into its own thing. Sorry, I'm just thinking about how I want to do this. Do I want to pass in other actor? I could just do this here. When I was doing refactoring for this last night, I basically made the base class something that doesn't worry about projectiles at all, and then obviously the child class inherits all the functionality, and the child class is a projectile, so we might be able to get away with not having this section of code here onto this. And we'll just use onBeginOverlap as something that detects anything that walks within the spell's volume. That's how I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about also like extracting this so I can override it possibly, but if we're going to go with the first method that I'm thinking, I may not need to do that. Yeah, okay, we're gonna try something here. This is pretty much just going to get moved. Where is my new function at for the projectile? Here you are. Move you. Control KU on comments. This guy down. Get rid of this else statement as well. So on projectile hit, I'm going to actually remove collision off of this. Create a function for turning overlap events off and removing pretty much all collision on that. I'll keep it virtual just in case I need to change something in the future for child classes, but as of right now I can't think of a reason to do that. Okay. Off. Actually, that generate no. It's collision comp. I just gotta refresh my memory on something real quick. For collision, there's two types of events that occur, if I remember correctly. Okay, here we go. Hit events. Yes. This is what we're going to be using to detect collision on the ground and have it so our spell mesh doesn't go through the ground when spawning. Simulation generates hit events. What is the... Set simulate physics does not trigger that, I don't believe. Trying to see what the actual function is. I mean, shit, another way to do this is actually just go in and see where this is being broadcasted from, and then we can check and see where the Boolean is, and then find the function that allows us to turn that on. It's the broadcast. Simulation. Okay. Let's see here. Note, for collisions during physics simulation to generate hit events, simulation generates hit events must be enabled. How do you learn C++ Unreal Engine 5? There was actually a couple courses I took years ago by a guy named Steven. There's a beginner course that I actually linked to in the Discord if you want to check that out. I also have like a bunch of other resources there that I found helpful that you can use for free. I pretty much just post like all the stuff that I find documentation wise that's helpful in there. So if you want to check that out, you're totally free to like grab all the links and leave the Discord if you want. I don't really expect too many people to stay in it. We search for hit events. It looks like it's something else that's actually not named. Look at the documentation. Thanks, and how long did you learn it? Oh, I'm still learning it, my friend. There's so much stuff that you have to get a grasp on in it. You're like, don't get me wrong, you can make stuff fairly quickly after like picking up like the basics. But this is something that would take like a decade to like really like master or get close to. But you definitely learn a lot along the way. I just want to see what this boolean is called in C++. Usually, right, this kind of thing here is like word for word the same as it is in here. Oh, actually, you know what I could do? I could check the constructor. Usually it's in here. If it is going to be triggered. Overlap collision settings. Level streaming. All that shit. Nothing about it in here. Yeah, it's all tick related stuff. Interesting. I mean, I could easily turn it on in blueprints, but like, again, I much prefer writing stuff in C++. Even if it's something as simple as that, I'd just like to know how to do it for future reference. Set notify rigid body collision. That's the function. They lie to me? No, okay. Let's look into that. Yeah, it is. Look at that. Wow, what a super misleading function to set that, eh? It's kind of crazy. For reference, I'm just pressing F12 to kind of dig into it. Wow. Okay, well. That's it right there. We also need set simulate physics to be on. We do not need overlap events anymore since we're doing it this way. Bro, show your game. I will in a second. I wanted to make sure that I actually got this function created first. Message retracted. Does that mean you deleted it? Alright, let's compile this then. Oh yeah, you never bind delegates in the constructor. It's terrible. You're asking for a huge issue if you do that. Begin play at the very least is the place that you would bind delegates. Your message got posted 3 times. That's weird. It only showed once, but it said message retracted. But yeah, it's total sacrilege if you try and do that. Okay, on projectile hits, begin overlap, all that shit's good. We want to remove collision parameters once we get a valid hit. We call the super version of begin overlap, which is this here. It's fine to leave these brackets. It just refers to scope. It's not a big deal. We're also just doing this for testing currently, so if everything works out, then I'll just come back and remove them. Let's compile and start this up. Okay. There's not anything I'm missing, right? No. Should be okay. We do need the grounds to allow for collision to happen, though. Let's turn off messages here. God damn it, Unreal. Come on. Alright, let's see where this is actually spawning now. Collision comp, let's see here, custom. It is a projectile. It's not set to block. That's why. Okay. We want it to block, not overlap. Very important. Go. We do not need physics only. Should be good now. That is also a problem. So, more than likely hit the actor as it was spawning in. Oh man, is that why I tried to avoid that in the beginning? I also have to turn physics off when that happens too. I just noticed that. Update that. Update this as well. Collision enabled, should be no collision. We don't mess with overlap events. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so it's going to work, but not in the best way because it's being blocked by pawns. So I may have to modify this a bit. Probably gonna have to do something where it overlaps pawns instead. And yeah, check that way, because having physics block it like this is actually gonna be a problem. Yeah, so I mean it works because it's not, you know, sweeping, or it's not falling through the actual like map itself. But then we have that problem of when it spawns in, it can potentially hit the player that's spawning the projectile in, which is not good. Not good at all. I realize that it will not work currently, but we're going to get to that point. I noticed something else actually. Yeah, okay. Spawning in the player's fist. Damn. I have the collision comp actually set up to be a projectile object type. I don't know. So the alternative way of doing this before was to not have this physics based. It was to essentially check for the collision channel, and if we hit a ground based collision object, then it would just float the Z value up of the spell entirely and then apply the offset afterwards, which would basically have it working just fine. Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, no. Okay. We're good there. Good. Actually, I want to see something in my logs when I turn physics off here. I wonder if I still have this old piece of code running. We'll see. Doesn't look like it. No, sir. So the only other way around this is basically spawn the projectile in front of the player so it doesn't touch the player's like actual skeletal mesh. I really don't want to do that because that can also cause problems with like movement and shit, because if you're running and casting the spell and say you have terrible fucking ping, there could be a delay on spawning that would cause the object to kind of spawn inside of your hand and cause that problem. So it's just bad. Bad, bad, bad. I need to turn physics on. I think I saw this before with this type of collision. Let me move this up here. Along with these guys too. Actually, these come after. Still the same thing. Yeah, so I was like looking at this. Physics interaction part is the bad part about this. May have to change this over. Oh, well, we're actually also not checking for this as well. I solved this problem before without having to modify the location of the projectile spawned in. And I believe I did it with physics too. Solve one problem, open up a door to another one. Luckily it's not too terrible though. Wait a minute. Does probing go off of collision response block, or does it work with overlap? We're gonna look into that. I genuinely do not remember. But yeah, you can see how it's fallen to the ground because of the spawn location. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Takes 2 seconds to compile it anyways. Damn you, physics. Only used for probing the physics simulation. Rigid body constraints cannot be used for spatial queries. Raycast sweeps overlaps. Okay, there it is. Useful for one that detects potential physics interactions and pass contact out to hit callbacks or contact modification, but do not want to physically react to these contacts. Let's try it. Physics simulation. Be fucking brutal sometimes. May have to just go back to the other way and use the first initial setup I had with modified code for handling ground collision. I will delve into my old projects though, where I did have a solution for this, and I wonder if it's the same way that I'm thinking about doing it. I don't think it is though, because I think I did use physics-based projectiles for that, for bullet drop and everything. But that was such a long time ago. Yeah, only reacts with simulation based. Really don't want to move the spawning out of this. gotta be another way. Wait a minute. Yeah, so technically this is the root component. True. Has to be moved this way. Collision comp is set to projectile. I actually did not check that. Is it set that way? Huh. Oh yeah, it is. Oh, this here? So what we're doing here is we're just setting everything to ignore, and then we're modifying the actual collision right after we do so right here. Does it mess with this type of stuff here? It should not. It should only, this should only be responsible for handling collision channels. This is just like my quick and easy way of modifying everything without writing out individual channels. We have ignore actor when moving, right? Yeah, no problem. I was actually always looking for ways to have collision completely ignore an actor when spawning in. Do not think that is actually possible though. This is one of the few things that's actually like kind of stumping me on how to actually proceed here in terms of what I really want to do. I really do like physics-based projectiles. They're really cool, but spawning them in can be quite a challenge for something spell-based like this. Bullets are a lot easier because their travel speed will definitely be a lot higher than what I would make these spells. And they usually would spawn from like a muzzle, which you can have like pretty good control over that. Spells are going to move slower and they spawn from the hand. The one problem that I'm running into is when we do that, the spell actually will clip the boundaries of collision with the character, well, the physics boundary of the character, and basically deactivate the projectile movement component of the actor. I always thought that query and probe would actually stop that from happening. The unfortunate part is in order for this to work, we do need simulated physics, which is the kind of the root of the problem, but also the solution for having your projectiles not go through objects, which is like super ironic to like what we want to like not have happen in the beginning. But the end result of this is like where we want to be. I mean, actually, another way to do this. Hold on. I may have just thought of something. So. Sweep result. What I'm thinking here is we can probably grab the hit location via sweep, maybe, and then move the spell mesh to that location on hit. Will that work? What do we got to lose? We do need to generate overlap events again. And I'm fat fingering the shit out of my keys right now. Blah, blah, blah. All good. Turn that guy off. Put this here. And projectile hit will actually just use this. Let's see real quick, when this broadcasts, what type of data is it giving us from the sweep? I just want to double check this before I get too involved with how this works. Let's see. Don't really care about that part of it. Other overlap. overlap info. Here we go. Information for both sweep and overlay or overlap quarries. Different parts are valid depending on B from sweep. It's true, the F hit result is completely valid, just like a regular sweep result, which is good. If B from sweep is false, only F hit result component, actor, and item are valid. What I'm just looking for is the location of the hit, right? Because if I have that data, then I can just move the spell mesh to that location, making this a lot easier. Let's try it. See. This is what we need right there. I didn't highlight it, but it's location. The location in world space where the moving shape would end up against the impacted object if there is a hit, equal to the point of impact for line tests, which is exactly what we want. So in our test area, we know that our floor in the test area is Z location 0, between like 0 and 1, roughly, from what I remember. So when we're doing this testing right now for this projectile hit, we just want to see if the location is accurate when spawning in this projectile. And how reliable is this? I'll be doing a lot more thorough testing later on, probably off stream, because it's going to be a super repetitive thing. But if we can get this working, if we can just get it up and running, then I can continue on with the rest of the daily activities, so to speak. So we're going to grab this location. We'll call it like hit location, if I can spell. Would also like to know if there is a not a blocking hit on this, because that means our sweep is not entirely working. I believe this is how I did this before. But again, I would have to dig in and find the old code I used for projectiles back in the day. There's a lot of ideas in my head. I want to move to my city. I feel like there's somebody else making a city as well that asked me the same question. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, this does do sweeps. For a second I thought probes were doing sweeps. Generate overlap. Okay. Physics is not on. Good. Alright. it out. If this works and it's super reliable, absolute middle finger to physics, and we'll just continue on with this. I don't know what it is, like, man, with geometry collection components and shit, how like broken they've been for like resetting them, and how chaos physics has just been reacting to any type of like reset mechanics or dynamic collections. It's just been such a pain in the ass to debug physics recently. Maybe it's just me. Oh. Did I brick my game? No, I did not. Almost. No blocking hits. Alright, I'm gonna fill my water up real quick. I'll be back in like 2 minutes tops. And we'll get to the bottom of this. I'm going to get this working today. I'm very much committed. So, yeah, give me like 2 minutes. Be right back. We're back. I'm actually going to do here is move this outside. I don't want any outside factors playing a role into this at all. Oh, started the compile too soon. There we go. This is the best way that I personally learn how to do this shit, because testing this kind of stuff like this many times, you'll never forget it. The next time I do like anything remotely related to this, I'll know for a fact what the best solution would be. Yep. Alright. We're looking to how this does its sweeping. So that's actually kind of interesting to me. Let's see. So shift F12. A lot of the comments within like the engine code here are actually like really useful, and they teach you a lot on how these functions actually work. We have any overlaps from begin component overlap from now or in the past. See if anything has changed by filtering a new overlapping component. Get pointers to data array. Oh, okay, yeah. Do that. Now we want to compare the old and new overlap list to determine what overlaps are in the old and not in new. Okay, so this is how it determines how end overlaps actually work. What overlaps are in the new and not in the old. Yeah, so it's just like a compare and contrast function on how it dictates begin and end overlaps there. What I am more interested in is sweeping and how it fills out that data. Because if I know how it fills out the sweep information, then I can better utilize this functionality. What is this here? Component overlap multi. Test the collision of supplied component at the supplied location of rotation. Determine the set of components that it overlaps. Sounds right up my alley. The special variant of hints, we are likely adding a duplicate. That's fine. How you doing? So test channel. Yep, well that looks good. Oh man. means I had an apple in Portuguese. I hope it was a good apple. So from what I'm seeing here, this is just a boolean that it's actually returning. In-out overlap. This is being modified here with temp overlaps, which is ending temp overlaps after a reset. Yeah, I mean, I get most of this. That's all just collision parameters. Oh. Man, Unreal Engine graphics nowadays look better than real life. The Matrix Awakens demo was probably the coolest way they actually displayed the graphics. The lighting mechanics, or the lighting feature itself, just looked insanely good. Once they get down like water physics, pretty much game over. That's gonna look incredible. Hit component, everything there. Okay. They figured out the water physics? Oh, not yet. The water plugin is, not great. I mean, it gets the job done a little bit, but it's, not the best. Overlap info. That's what I'm most interested in out of anything. I just want to find out where it's manipulated. To be honest, this is actually like how I do a lot of research. onto this kind of stuff so I can get a better understanding of how the engine works. That's where it's getting initialized. I wonder if they actually fill out location on this. It actually doesn't look like they do. It looks like overlap info is not quite what we really need. So if B from sweep is true, no, not the overlap events. Oh my god, man. Why are you saying those things? Collision is a massive part of how this works. It's good to really test this stuff out and see what you can and can't get away with. Where's this changed? Anything overlap related? Hey, this is how you have to learn. Or at least this is how I like to learn. Oh, what is this? B from sweep equal true. Oh, I thought that was in primitive component. Yeah, it's hard to see when sweep result actually would be changed to true at any point. And then you can see right here that if it's false, wait, hold on. If it's true, get a copy of the hit result with relevant information reversed. For example, when receiving a hit from another object, we reverse the normals. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yeah, it doesn't give enough information for what we need. So if we were to use like overlap events versus like physics, then we wouldn't have like impact point or anything like that. Nah, I quit. Hey, fair enough. It ain't for everybody. It's a hard thing to learn. But if you put the time into it, you definitely can. I wonder if projectile movement actually gives us a better way of handling that, besides just like the basic shit. Yeah, wait, hold on, here we go. I mean, by default, this is true. Sweep collision. Wait, so if this is true, we would want projectile movement. Does this have a overlap effect? I don't think so. What to say? Really weird. Alright. I'm gonna chase that just a little bit. Wear a full t-shirt, bro? Not when it's 90 fucking degrees outside. I'm good. It is hot. If I wore a full t-shirt, I'd be drenched in sweat probably. Alright, so if we have sweep collision here, where is this data going? Alright, so it's doing its tick here. Scope to projectile updates, blah blah blah. Simulation uses scoped movement. Update component. Loop counts. Yep. Preventative shit. I'm talking Celsius. Man, if only I didn't have Ooh, actually, shit, I can actually view the logs here. That log projectile movement, very verbal. Maybe we can pull that up and take a look at it. I'd like to see what it has in terms of data for it and everything. We also have something here It's updated component. This is the component that's moving, but is it providing these, like the hits to this component as well? Hope you got some eggs in your fridge. Yeah, you probably could, if I'm being honest. Cook it on the sidewalk. Very true. Okay, so if updated component is simulating physics, we return. Which that's why... Oh shit. That's actually why our projectile movement component was pretty much just falling to the ground, eh? Is it skipping movement if it does that? Yeah, okay. I actually didn't know that. Huh. And hit is made here. Blocking hit, all that shit. Handle blocking hit, new projectile, handle blocking hits. Handle blocking hit during simulation update, checks the simulation result after collision. Okay. Got here. Handle impact. My days get shorter, my nights get longer. Yeah, I wish I had the opposite effect, so I had more time for this. What state am I in? I am in the northeast part of the country. That's all the information I'll give. So what collision is it going off of when it's checking for a hit? Does it check for a blocked collision response? Like we have query only. Does that matter for projectile movement updating? These are things that I don't know to 100% truth, and I'd actually like to kind of figure that out. Wish I had more time for programming. Also may waste 6 hours a day on gaming, YouTube, and chilling. Yeah, man, I used to be there. Trust me, I totally get it. There's days where I really don't feel like doing it either, but gotta do what you gotta do. Why in Wyoming? You're probably the only person in that state. I got a couple other people. Yeah, so I'm assuming it looks for the parent when it's doing collision, I would imagine. Scope movement update. This check static mobile. Yeah, that's fine. It's not static, so we know that. Fill in optional output parameters first. Okay. Update overlaps. Yeah. There's not many of us out here. Oh my lord. Well, that's where the abstraction truly begins. There are barriers where you can't access certain things, unfortunately. But the weird thing is, it is filling out the hit information a little bit. But I fail to see where it's completing that. Bet you only got 10 people with you in Wyoming. Wyoming is as empty as Zoom office buildings. They do exist, apparently. I don't know if I've ever seen one. Handle blocking hit. I mean, shit, the only way we're really going to know is if we just look at the logs for this. So if we just go in and check it. I believe that's the command for it. Didn't see anything come up though, so maybe I actually had that wrong. Oh, I have messages turned off. I was like, nothing's showing. Try that again. Like I'm missing a line there. Bit. Let me go to my debugging tab here. Yeah, I'm definitely not saying that. It's not a default thing that you can actually view messages, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, I knew it was like log something. I can't remember off the top of my head. Fortunate. Oh, wait a minute. I think I have it here. Because I was using this for debugging gas. Yeah, this should be it. Okay, yeah, it's we're good. We're good. I just didn't get a confirmation of it, which is weird. Anyways. No hit. But the thing is, though, like, doesn't show a hit, but we can't bounce and we shouldn't adjust if initially penetrating because that should be a blocking hit that causes hit event and stop simulation. There's two separate versions of this. Which one is it using? Oh, all this one does is just convert it to the version there. Wait, are we passing in F quad? I don't think it matters that much. Is F rotator? No, it's F quad. So if that's the case, then it is this version. Delta. Oh, yeah, we did convert it to a pointer here. We're really confused. I saw the craziest video thumbnail ever. It said, would Jesus vote Republican or Democrats? Got 117k views. It was posted 2 weeks ago. That is definitely a title for a thumbnail. What the hell? I don't know, am I crazy? I just don't see where a hit would actually be counted onto here. Because first off, oh, I mean, it's a while loop. So technically, I didn't actually think about that. Does that make a huge difference on how this is going to handle this? We do not have a blocking hit. Okay. Yeah, so my thought process was like, okay, it iterates over it once. The hit gets reset because it's a temporary thing. It's not like it's a member variable or anything. But it's doing a while loop. And on average, it was doing how many iterations on tick? Go back and take a look there. I just see one iteration actually. Okay, maybe maybe it's not yeah, okay. Maybe it doesn't change much. Actually, in a sunny hot place, you should wear thin cover clothing. It will keep the sunlight. We'll see. I'm indoors, and it's just hot as shit. It's not like I have sunlight killing me. So, your point does not make sense in my situation. Now, at some point, is continue being called. Break is being called here. Handle blocking result equals abort. It will break. Go to the next mission of the loop. So I would imagine here is where it's hitting a problem. Excuse me. We're not getting this log, so it's not that. Stop simulation. What is this now? Is active. False. Yeah, that's not it. Updated component should not be null pointer either. I don't see any other exits for it either. This is outside of the while loop, so I don't really care about that right now. Wait a minute. No, I actually just read this wrong. No blocking hit. It does this. Velocity, compute velocity, time tick, which I'm assuming it's just interpolating over delta. Compute acceleration, limit velocity if it exceeds. Yep, all that good shit. So that's what we're getting. Yeah, I just don't see where hit would ever be marked true. It is very possible it's something that is not inside this, and it's more so inside the primitive. So if we set like our collision, right, to block instead of overlap, would that actually call the log for a valid hit? What's the time? It is 2:30, roughly. I mean, sweeps should still be active. Keep testing out collision. New hit. Okay. What we like to see. So, it says new hit there. We're actually just not getting an update though on this part of it. I mean, that's progress. Yeah, so I mean, it's actually generating the hit now. When that happens, we just need to get the functionality for the projectile movement. So this has like a handle impact function, and I would like to see how that works and where we can access it to do what we need to do with our functionality. Virtual handle blocking hits. So worst case scenario, we just make a custom projectile movement component, slap it onto this. Simulating call handle impact, return, flags, blah, blah. On projectile stop. This is probably what we need right here. that public too? It is. Okay. So let's try this then. I don't know if we actually need overlap events for this part. We definitely don't need physics. That can fuck right off. There we go. On projectile stop. I'm assuming that is a dynamic multicast. It is. Gives us an impact result. Perfect. So we add dynamic here. And then we can call our on projectile hit function. So we separated the actual projectile itself from our overlap events, which is why we're allowed to do this now. So testing for other actor and all that stuff, we actually don't need this at all. All we care about is when our projectile is stopped completely, we are going to do this. The only reason it should stop is from a blocking hit. We're checking it here just to see the location that it actually stops at. From what I'm seeing, it is like just above where the collision comp, or the actual collision comp stops. So, let's see. Live code it in and try it out. Whoa. I actually just saw error there. Real quick. Do this. Go. Try it out. Just like that. We don't even really need an offset anymore now that the spell's doing that. So what we can do, go in and change it. Where is our... There it is. Go to offset. I mean, if any offset, we would do like something really small. Like 5. Funny enough, the whole point of that was to make it so if we hit the ground, we're able to launch ourselves up like that. And it looks like it's working. I just turned the lighting off. My bad. Fat finger to hotkey. We're good. Oh, it's actually like super trippy looking. What was that collision on the bottom? Thing I was thinking about is for certain abilities, like that one in particular, really wants to be on the ground because the whole purpose of it is to launch a player into the air. So I was thinking for some abilities, if you hit somebody directly with a projectile like that, the default should be the ability spawns like below their feet. So I was actually testing that out a while back, but with the new system I actually haven't tried it out with that. But we have the projectile thing done, so we can actually turn off that logging for it. Shit, what is the command? Like, I want to say none, but I can't remember. Ah, fuck it, I'll turn it off later. I actually don't think it turned back on with the engine reset anyways. Yeah, it didn't. We're good. Let's do a little bit of further testing. Do overlap events have any impact on whether or not this works? Because if not, that's actually huge. It's a lot of stuff that we can save performance on. Doesn't matter. Oh, that is so nice. You have no idea. I think we found a really good way to do this, and it was pretty much on the tip of our tongue the whole time. We just had to track down the right functions and the right code. Get it done. The easy way out would have been just having the collision comp like reset its placement to like right on top of the floor, but it wouldn't have worked that great. But we found something that works perfect for our situation. So definitely happy about that. We have to have physics on for this to work. I don't think we do. We save more performance here. Let's try it out. Okay. It works with just query only. Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, this might have been the way that I did it a long time ago. I don't think it was, but regardless, I'll remember how to do this for years to come. And actually get rid of that too. I can't see anything else that we really have to mess with here. Oh, yeah, right here, actually. I'm just trying to clean up all the shit that we messed with. I think there was some logging that we also did here. What I'm looking at right now is currently our geometry collections are not reacting to the impulses that our abilities put out. If they like happen within this like function here, which is the supply initial overlap event. So I'm just thinking of a way to pass this in. Right now we're passing the actor into this, but the geometry collection component uses this other comp parameter to check for this. So my first thought is like Okay, well, we might be able to look on the actor for like this specific component, but do we want to check every actor for this? Because then we get into bad habits of putting like for loops inside like other loops. Which, I mean, to be fair, this won't really have like a lot of components. Like we could do this here, like get component by class. Let me just check to see if it has that component. Yeah, I think I will do that because this would just like immediately solve that problem. This returns null, I believe. It does not, so we should be totally good to pass this in. Like so. But then sweep location is also used. Okay. For sweep location, we might be able to use the location of the actor itself when we do this. We'll try it out and see if it works how we want it to. My initial thought is it's going to work just fine. But if we notice like any like glaring problems with this solution, we'll just come back and redo it. It's not a big deal. We have a lot of guards up in place just in case we find a problem. So we're protected. We'll be good. Should be able to live code this in and we'll test out and see if it all works. I see somebody spamming the chat with those emote things. Had a pretty good day so far. There's a lot of stuff I'm going to be doing off stream tonight, but I wanted to show you kind of like the debugging process that I typically take. Logging is your best friend. It's the TLDR. So let's make a rock wall and shoot it, shall we? Oh, that's not good. What happened there? Oh, I think I know what happened. Our collision component is relatively big on the fireball, I believe. I wonder if projectile movement has a function to where we can actually ignore the owner of the ability. On projectile stop. Stop simulating. See what calls this. See if there's a way that we can have it be like if actor hit is like owner. We ignore. I don't think it is going to work like that though. That's for velocity. We don't care about that. We do not care about that. Handle impact. Hmm. This is going to initialize the collision parameters of our collision comp, more than likely. Go to our fireball and change the collision radius on that. I'm also going to test, like, moving around and everything too. Make sure that we cannot proc this effect from moving. I believe there is a guard for it within the projectile. In the projectile movement component. Yeah, the radius is 60 on this. Actually gonna make it relatively small. 5. And okay. So I want to see if it grabbed any of the actors. I mean, like this right here. When it was doing the overlap in the beginning. So this like apply, or is it apply initial overlap? Which actually should have this. object types. Where is that? Ah, trace array. It's only looking for pawns. But that's just damage. I mean, we also want to look for geometry collection components too. So might as well add it to our trace array. It's two. Shit. Is this? What collision channel are you? Real dynamic, yes. Real dynamic. Okay. F hit results. Oh, ECC world dynamic. Else if you components. It would be yeah, hitpawn.actor. But wait a minute. Get component. Get. Yeah, so I believe it would be get component. Try it out. Pointer. Where is our... Here you are. I'm just grabbing the same parameters that we use here. We should also check for radial impulse. That's actually a good idea. Keep location. Probably gonna break this down into other sections. It's because this is getting fairly long. But the thing is, this is strictly for damage. Now we're going to get into kind of like a gray area here on like the line of just make another function or add the functionality into this, which currently it's doing a sphere trace, which is what we want. We're not adding radial impulse here. I don't even want to check for this. No point in casting if we're not. So maybe... Damn, double checking though? God. It's like painful. But I mean, like, it's actually kind of more efficient. Actually, it looks like I made a comment a while back about this same exact conundrum that I'm running into, where I may want to add damage to objects like this in the future. I even commented out world dynamic here, I think I had it before. Okay, well, put a log here so I can track this part of it. We'll start up a live code here, try it out, see if it works. This does have radial impulse picked, yes. Okay. Found a bug. Okay, so it looks like it's only if yeah. Before I move on. That. Anyways. Yeah, so when I was saying before that they kind of broke geometry components again, right here where it says removing collision, like the break event for a collision is getting called like 30 something times. Hit limit of 96. Oh, probably for this. So what is that, like a full, like I lose a frame almost. Yeah, a full 2 ticks of the delegate just like repeatedly called until it is finally turned off. This is something else I have to look into. See what's happening. But this did not happen in 5.3. It worked like that. As soon as you set notify to be off, it was off. It's something with the event dispatcher from what I'm seeing, but I don't have access to the event dispatcher to just go in and change it. If the event dispatcher was like protected, then I could just make a child class, go in and make the change and fix, but alas I don't, so I have to find another way. Also, why is this called again? Hit limit of 96 safe moves. Very weird. Yeah, I mean, we got radial impulse pretty much done. I gotta add some round cleanup features in the near future too, because with like earthbending abilities coming in, there's going to be a lot of debris, which is going to cripple people's computers unless this shit gets deleted fast. Hey JSK, how's it going? Hello, hello indeed. That's a problem. I knew that was going to be a thing too. I'll look into projectile movement collision, see if we could get that fixed. Adding the finishing touches to the demo so we can send it to an art video game expo. Oh shit, nice man. It's dope. Yeah, I'm just driving myself insane testing out all these all this shit with collision. We made the massive change to, there's another thing I gotta fucking figure out. Made a massive change to combat, and this is just one of the things that has to be done. But it's gonna make the game feel a lot smoother when it's working correctly. Just gotta get there. Felt like I just strained my my arm. Is it colliding with the player? Yeah, it is. What's happening is it's spawning in, and the projectile movement gets stopped by the player itself initially. I looked into it for a bit to see if I could just have projectile movement ignore parent, the parent component, but I wasn't able to find anything on the surface level. So I might go in and make a custom projectile movement component and force that to happen. Custom collision channels? Yeah, so the one problem with it, and this is where it gets really tricky, right, is spells are supposed to hit players. They're just not supposed to hit the owning player that launches a projectile. Get what I'm saying? So it becomes like really weird in trying to get this to function correctly with like the base functions that they give me for this. So there's some like weird manipulation I have to go and do to get this done. What I might end up doing is just make a custom projectile movement component and manipulate some shit around so it doesn't happen. B, the right arm's collision, as weird as it sounds, I might just turn that off so the arm stops proccing the collision like that. That's also not a great way to do it, but you know, it is what it is. C would be to revert back to overlap events, but I really don't want to do that. Like, really don't want to do that. But regardless, we're going to find a way. You actually stopped by as soon as I was about to call it for the day, after getting all the other collision shit done. We just got a couple more bugs, but we're almost done. But yeah, that being said, probably gonna call it here. I'll be back 11:30 tomorrow, same time as always, pretty much. I think that's going to be the schedule for the rest of the week. I don't see myself not being available. Maybe on Sunday, possibly, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, wherever you are, have a great morning, evening, afternoon, or night, and till tomorrow. Peace.